squishymonster.com, and today I'm going to share with you one of my favorite foods. It's for homemade pizza. And I don't know what it is about homemade pizza that just calls to me. Maybe it's my infatuation with dough and watching it grow and pressing it between my palms, or the fact that if you master this dough, you can really kind of make garlic knots, strombolis, calzones, breadsticks even, or the fact that you can customize this and eat it right away and enjoy a great pizza, or pop it into the freezer and have it whenever your next craving hits. This homemade pizza is just out of this world, and I hope you guys enjoy it because I feel like most of life's problems can be answered with pizza. So if you do enjoy this video, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Now let's get started. So here I just have some filtered warm water, and I'm going to combine it with my yeast. Now make sure that your yeast is fresh or else it will not activate your dough. And just give it a stir and set it aside. In my large bowl, I just have some unbleached flour. That just means that it's regular all-purpose, but it hasn't been chemically bleached or altered. And I'm going to add to that my sugar and my salt to balance things out. And I want to give everything a quick whisk. Now in go my water and yeast, just into that big bowl there, and some grapeseed oil. And you can of course use this with a stand mixer, it's much easier, but I like the feel of dough in my hand, so I just want to knead it till it combines and kind of collects with itself. It is almost there, just a couple more kneads, and as you can see it is sticky, but most of it clings to itself. And don't worry, all the details that you need are listed below and at thesquishymonster.com. When your dough comes together, you just want to give your bowl a fine misting of some oil and plop your dough into the bottom and cover it to allow it to rest and double up in size. It takes about an hour. This next part is optional, but I like to use homemade tomato sauce when I'm making my own pizza. So to a heavy bottomed pot, I'm just going to add in a healthy glug of olive oil, not extra virgin. And then to that, I like to directly grate in some garlic and onion. So with your garlic, make sure you don't get down to that green sprout if it has that in there. That part is really bitter, so you just want to grate until you see that part and then just discard the rest. Next, I like to rub in some oregano, some dried oregano, because it really stands up to the long steeping process of this. When everything is nicely aromatic and lightly browned, I like to add in the rest of my ingredients. So I have some tomato sauce, and my pot is now at low. It's gonna simmer for about an hour just until everything gets to know each other and really kind of blends nicely. And to counteract the acidity that tomatoes can have, just a sprinkle of sugar. It's not gonna make it so sweet, it's really just going to balance everything out. And then I like to rub in a little bit of red pepper flakes. You can omit this if you don't like spice, but I like the gentle warmth that it creates. And then I have a glug, a tiny little glug of balsamic. I like to use a sweet fruit infused balsamic, and then tuck in some bay leaves. Success! I found some Parmesan bones here, and I just like to tuck that in, and it kind of melts into the sauce, creating kind of a punch of flavor with that salty, cheesy kick. And then a light sprinkle of salt and freshly cracked black pepper, and then I'm just going to clamp on the lid and allow it to simmer away. Here's what your pizza dough should look like after about an hour. All I'm doing now is flattening my dough onto a board lined with either silpat or parchment so it doesn't stick. And I personally never conquered the whole hand tossing it over your head and fancy bits, so I'm just doing what works for me. This part you don't need a rolling pin, you're just merely punching out the extra air and you're letting it rise a little bit longer. Here's what my dough looks like after the second rise, and it's important to allow it to do the second rise since it will develop the flavors so much more intricately. I'm just going to flatten it out, and you can make it as thick or as thin as you'd like, completely up to you, your personal preference. And then I'm going to par bake it before I put in my toppings. As for your pizza, use whatever toppings you like or have. As for my cheese, I like to use a nice melting cheese like a fontina or a mozzarella. So this just par baked, and if you have a pizza stone, great, but if you don't worry about it. So now we can just dollop on our homemade sauce And you can really just kind of customize this with whatever pizza experience you want to have. If you want to go heavy on the sauce, extra cheese. If you want to put your toppings under or over, really totally all up to you. Last but not least, before I pop it into the oven, I'm just brushing the edges and the crust with some olive oil so it'll get nice and golden brown.